I love quilts, but there's a problem. I don't sew. Instead, I make paper quilts, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Hello, scrapbookers and creative friends. I'm Linda Petuch, Creative Memories Independent Advisor in Jupiter, Florida. Welcome to my Thursday Thoughts. And my first thought is that I wanted to tell you, for those of you who've been babysitting those hummingbirds for me up in the northern part of the country, they returned to our yard September 8th. It's in my calendar. I kept forgetting to mention that in my other videos, but I am so happy that they're here. I will take good care of them and send them back to you in April. In the meantime, today, I wanted to talk to you about my calendar blocks. I've had a few people subscribers who have asked me if I could share how I go about making them. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to show you how the process that I use, some of the products that I use. So if it's something that you're interested in, then this might give you a little step ahead so that you can start planning and see if it's something you'd like to do. So let's take a look. Now, in case you haven't seen any of my videos that pertain to the calendars, just wanted to let you know that I use the This Life calendar kit. We used to have calendar pages, 12 by 12 pages, and we don't anymore, but instead this is what we use as the calendar kit that has these calendar printed pages, has headers. This is not attached yet, you'll see that. And then it also has in the kit months, the months of the year, and a lot of numerals if you'd like to put them on there. So that's my basic that I started with. And then the other thing that I did is I decided to use the Noteworthy Simple Page Kits. I did this for this past year for 2025. So this new year, this is for 2026, I'm using the Noteworthy Simple Page Kits. And they were offered this year in bundles. So you would get a quarter at a time, quarter of the year at a time, which I just love. So that's basically what I get. And I like it because it comes with all the bells and whistles. You know, you have the design for how you're going to set it up. It gives you the pages, it gives you stickers, and some little extra embellishments. And then what I do is I pull the colors that of coordinating cardstock as well. So I use all of this to get started on what I call my quilt block. And what that basically is a design page that I make next to my calendar. This is really my big creative project for the year. And I have had people request that I share how I do it. So that's what I'm going to do now. So you're going to want to have either frame punches or your favorite punches, and I'll show you how some of these are frame punches, some are not, but I'll show you what I do. I get all these punches out and I start looking at them and trying to decide what I'd like to do to pick up on the color patterns and the design that I want to make. So I had to start with this gorgeous frame punch. This one is from a few years ago. This is the snowflake frame and border. You know, when it's a frame punch, you can make just a border with it as well, a 12-inch border. But if you see these wings have these lines on it, that helps you show you where to line up your punch when it's time. So this makes an even number frame. You can cut a frame on a 12 by 12, 10 by 10, 8 by 8, 6 by 6 is about as no, and then you can also go 4 by 4, and then you just do one punch on each. But I just think it's so beautiful, and the bonus to that is that you also get this gorgeous confetti. So I use this a lot on other pages. You won't see me use it so much on this. I do have a little bit on here, but anyway, this confetti is fabulous. And the other thing is when you make a frame punch, you end up with these little squares, which I have used in other layouts. So what I did is I decided what I wanted to put on the basic first page. Now, I use these top-loading pockets. And see, this is the page kit, which I already have finished. And let me pull this out because, you know, the top-loading pockets come with a piece of cardstock. But I'm going to decide right here with you if I want to put this just on the plain white cardstock that comes with it, or would I like to mix it up a little? I think I might put it on this. I think that's pretty. This is exactly what I do too. I start talking to myself and trying to decide what I'm going to do. So I am definitely going to put this on here. So let me get my tape runner, which I put here. I need my regular one. All right, so I am going to, sometimes when I do this, it's so silly, when it's cardstock, I turn it over like it's going to make a difference. It doesn't. Okay, now I'm going to run some repositionable. I did the punching before I got to you, just so that you wouldn't have to be listening to that. Oh, and look, ta-da, always. Okay, 1 minute. All right, I'm back in business. And I'm using that little silicone mat. You can use plastic, piece of parchment paper, whatever you need. I just want to add a little bit more to the little snowflakes. Okay, so here's my base page, which is the flip side of that page kit. And I'm going to put this on. I love this so much. But, you know, I decided this year, instead of making it all just winter, I decided to go with the New Year's party theme that the page kit had. So I'll show you. I decided, see, so here it had party, and it had music, and it had champagne bottles and so forth. So I just went with that. I have a couple things ready on foam squares. So I want to explain to you also what I've done. Let me get my little champagne bottles out of the way. So I measured this. I made this an 8x8 square. Now this is not a border punch. This is our Border Maker cartridge called Confetti. What's better for a party? And I want to show you what I did. Cutting it on, or putting it on 8x8. You see where that first, I don't know if you can see that first little knob sticking out. I made a line here, and that is where I lined up this paper to punch. You know, in the Border Maker cartridge, line up the paper, put the magnets down, flip it back, and then I punched it. I started in the middle, actually. I punched the first one, went one on each side of it. And by the time you finish that, you have 3 on each side. And I think it makes a really nice design. We're just keeping with that confetti and that party design. Make sure I didn't flip it. I did not. That's good. Okay, so let me get this adhered down. Oh, look, I missed a corner. Let me get that corner. I want it secure. All right, now I'm just eyeballing that. If you're not comfortable with that, you can measure it, but you know, I know that so many people are perfectionists about that, but I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, so then I decided, you know, as I make my quilt blocks, you know how quilts are layers, and I do not mean to insult any quilters, because I think it's an art form and it's wonderful, and you're very talented that you can do that. But I am not a seamstress, so I do my paper version. So I decided then I wanted to do music. So I punched the border. This is the musical notes, music staff and notes. And I originally thought that I would just do 4 like this, but they're actually they're too wide or too long. So instead, I think I'm going to piece them like this. And you know, when I'm working on this, I start and I think I like the design, and sometimes I do, and sometimes I say, nah, I'm not so crazy about that. But remember, this is your page. You do whatever makes you happy. Okay, so I like that. And now, okay, so let me get, I'm going to use repo for this, because of course there's not a lot of paper there. All right, so I'm not going to push it down too far. So I'm going to make sure, I think I should do the side pieces. All right, it's going to have to be like that. You do have to be careful with this music note. What I ended up doing is I punched two 12-inch strips, and then I cut them. But I decided, okay, we're going to have it go around this way. I decided that it was too long, as I said before. But on top of that, I also decided that, you know, I do not want to flip the staff backwards. I want to make sure that it's going, that if you looked at the page in any direction, it would still be okay. Okay. Now, all right, so we have this here, and you know what we've just created? Oh, have your multi-purpose tool handy, especially when you're using little fragile things like this. I'm just lining it up again. You see I'm eyeballing it. Okay, guess what we just made? A music box. Do you love it? Okay, and then I decided I wanted to put a little message in the middle. So this was a sticker. I've already put foam squares on the back. Let me get these little tabs off. We'll put these here. Oops. I love foam squares. I think I probably use more than I should, but not really, because remember, there's no right or wrong way to scrapbook. You do you. Okay, I want to make sure that's lined up. Okay, that's good. All right, now I'm going to put my Happy New Year here in the music box. And then I decided I wanted to add a couple of snowflakes. Got to keep in that January theme. I think I have more space here, so I'll do this one down here. And this is the confetti from what I punched. Put that there. And then on this banner, which is for the title, I've already put foam squares as well on here, because what I want to do is I want to use these sticker strips and put them on this banner at the top. So let me peel those off and get those on. This is a little different for me because normally I have everything finished that I'm going to show you, that I'm going to share with you. So this is forcing me out of my safety zone, but that's okay. You're worth it. For my faithful followers, I am happy to do it. If this is going to help you see, because, you know, the thing is the planning is really the big part. And I will tell you that sometimes I plan it and I think it's going to be great. I'm going to put this down. I think it's going to be great. And then I start putting the pieces down and I think, that doesn't quite have the look that I thought it was going to. All right, so let's get this at the top. The other thing that I do, you know, once you've decided what color that you're going to, what color scheme you're going to go with, then you can pull out any scraps of paper that you have that are in that same color, because this is a great time if you're punching little things that you can go ahead and use scraps to do that. All right, so I'm going to put this January in the center. And then I thought I would add on this. I haven't figured out what designs I'm going to put here yet. I might just use, this might be a good time to use some of these snowflakes. Yeah, I think that might be good. So none of these are going to be wasted. The confetti, see, I saved the confetti, but that's kind of the same color. Oh, these were my leftover from my musical staffs. I also have the little stars from the champagne bottles and some more embellishments there, but I think I like that. I don't want all those, I don't want that to look so matchy though. So let's overlap that. Just have fun with it, really and truly. And there'll be times that I'll go to put my, because now this is for 2026, there'll be times that I'll go to put things down and I think, why did I think I like that? Let me change that. And, you know, by putting this overlapping a little bit, it makes that banner become more part of the whole page because you've kind of joined it together. And now for these, especially for this one, these littler ones, this adhesive is the best thing to use. The little glue pen. What do we call the, there we go. Okay, it's hard. Now I do have my multi-purpose tool and I have my little pickup thing if I need it. This is good for this one. January's coming. We're almost there. And I'm so excited because I did discover that a lot of these pages from the Noteworthy look beautiful with our Copper Canyon, which I'm going to show you what I decided to do on some of these. Okay, let me put one here. Let's get that one on. Did I tear it? Oh my goodness. I tore it, poor little thing. That's okay, when you tear it, you can always hide it under something. This is going to be fully seen, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, so there's that. And don't worry, I haven't forgotten about those. All right, now, January 1st, 2026 is on this Thursday. So the other thing that I do is I go through and I pick a pen that I think would look nice. So I am going to go ahead and write 1 here, because that's where, I mean, and there are stickers in the kit that you could use. I'm just doing that. I might change that, but I'm just going to leave it like that for now. I've already put foam squares on here. I put a lot because I don't want it to go anywhere. So this will represent, and I'm going to put it kind of between New Year's Eve, because it is the 1st, right? But this is when we would be celebrating. So I'm going to kind of overlap it a little bit here for our celebration. And when I look at this, then I have to decide if I have all the pieces that I wanted. All right, here we go. Cheers, right here. And then because I saw those sticker strips and I'd have this little bit of yellow, I thought, I need a little more yellow over here. I have some on the champagne bottle, but that's when I decided to bring these little champagne bottles. This is this little punch. It's called Champagne Toast. Okay, so I brought that out. Let me just get some adhesive on those real quick. I'm not used to having y'all wait when I do this stuff. It's a little different for me. So I decided in these open corners, this would be a good spot to put these. So I'm going to put these here. Put these here. You rush too much like me, you'll tear them, so be careful. And you could just put them down here on each side, but I think I'm going to do, well, let's see. And this is literally what I do. I look at it and I think, do I want that, or do I just want to have it be? Oh, maybe I don't want it on all 4. Maybe I'll use those little stars that go with it. Maybe that's what we should do. Let's see. Let me add the stars, and then, or I guess they're stars. I don't know what they are actually. Get this adhesive, the precision point. Put 3 over here. Let's see how we like that. Little pickup stick. This might be scary, letting you see how my brain works. I don't know. Maybe it helps. As long as it helps, that's the whole idea. But you see how it brings in the yellow a little bit more? So that it's not all, I mean, last year I did, which for 2025, I did make it kind of monochromatic. But this time I decided I wanted it to be a little more colorful. Okay, I think I like that better. Okay, so we don't need to add those other, it's too much champagne. Let's not have that much champagne. Okay, all right, so there we have it. Now this will have to adhere, so to dry. I don't want that liquid to get in the way. But now what I'll do is I'll go back, and if it's a month that I don't have any birthdays in my family in January, I have friends that are in January, but I've not been writing the birthdays in until later, because sometimes I add photos on here and I want to kind of arrange that, so I wait for that. But this is basically it. This is my January is now ready for 2026. Now, y'all have to understand, this is not my working bench. This is my filming and punching area. So it's a little bit tight for me. I have a table that I spread out that I work on, but I think this will be okay to put in there. Okay, but that's my calendar quilt block. It's okay, it's not as intricate as maybe some other quilts would be, but I think it gives the idea. Let me get this in here. I'm not going to put it in yet. I'm worried about it. I'm concerned about it being wet. Okay, so then here is my, this was the page kit. And then look at this. This is Copper Canyon. Look how beautifully it goes. So then I have these. Oh, I can adhere this down. So I wanted you to see that. This was Copper Canyon. I'm going to put this here because that's what I allowed the page kit, which is a double. And then I have another double page spread. And then we're on to the next month of February. So here's February with the page kit. This is a little messy for me, but this is what I do on my own, but I wanted you to see how I do it. All right, so let's do February. I hope you're not getting a headache here. I decided, where's my February? Here it is. Here's my February that's going to go here. Oh, the other thing I forgot to tell you. The same color that I write, like I'll probably use this blue or maybe a navy blue. But what I do is I use the dot pen and I trace the letters and put little dots on them, on the ends of the letters. And I think it makes it feel more like part of it and it adds that color. So I haven't done that yet either. I need to do that. I usually do that when I go back and put dates in. All right, so February is going to be here. So here's how I decided to do my quilt block. I'm so excited to share this with you. I bet some of you have already thought of this, but I didn't. You know how I like to make frames. This is peeking out. I don't want you to see that. Oh, now it's peeking out more. Okay, let me move this. I'm trying to hide it from you to see later. Okay. All right. So here's what I did, and I'm beyond excited. I wanted to make a frame, but I did make a 2-inch frame, but instead of cutting it with the straight blade, I used the scallop blade. I am so excited because it gives it, because I'm making the quilt, I'm designing a page. I wanted it to be a little bit more than just a straight cut. So it is the scallop cut. I am beyond happy with that. I put it here to hold the pieces, but I am going to put it on this page. I decided that it would look nicer. This is the page kit page. So I'm going to pull this out and we're going to actually build this quilt page on this speckled paper. So that's so pretty. Let me get rid of the cardstock. I never have to buy white cardstock anymore because I get so much from my top loading pocket pages. All right, so and now I saw Paper Sweet Pea do this one time. When she's going to put things down, she doesn't lift the whole thing. She does this. Kylie Kingham. I think that's a great idea. All right, I'm going to turn this, but I have to make sure I have it the right direction when I go back. This is especially nice with a frame. Okay, I might just do this all at once. Oh no, don't push so hard. There we go. Yike. Okay. Blooper. But guess what? It's going to be covered up. It's going to be covered up. All is well. Okay, now. Nope. Okay, it goes like this. Okay, so make sure I don't build the whole thing upside down. All right, so then I decided, because my whole calendar book is about precious moments for the year, I decided I wanted to, and this is February, I'm going to use the heart and the camera. And and this is a chain. It's not a frame cut, a frame punch. It's a Border Maker cartridge called Shutter Love. But I thought this would be most appropriate for February. But watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with the first one. I'm going to put the first one down. And this you play with, play with this, figure out how you want to do it. So I decided I'm going to put this one here. And then the next one, I'm going to have it go all around the edges, right? Oh, that looks very crooked to me. That's why we use repositionable. It's got a little banner look rather than a straight look. I should be doing this on my mat, on my cutting mat. I usually do. Okay, I think that looks better. All right, so now we're going to go around the edge, but instead of overlapping that, just have your scissors handy dandy, and I'm just going to cut it on the other side of that camera. And then let's get and let's see, we want to have it go, I want to have it, what was this one? Have it go this way. That's out more. Okay, like this. Do I want that in the corner? I think I'm going to move it again. But this is my process. I'm being very honest, very transparent with you. This is my process, because I start and then I think, do I like that? Maybe I don't like that. Let me put this up a little high. I am gonna put it up higher. So then you have the whole frame, which means that one might have been cut too much. Let's see. Oh no, it's okay. It'll work. All right. Maybe I won't adhere it yet. Let me get the next one. The next one is going to be, I'm having it so that the base of the camera all face in. So I will cut it again here on the other side of the camera. That will go here. That looks a little bit sloppy. It's a little bit sloppy cut. There we go. And over here. I'm just so excited about that. All right, now we're gonna have it. Now it's gonna be here. So I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna leave this little bit. Just go to the other side of the heart. There we go. All right, now I have to make sure I put the adhesive and put them back on the same direction. Boom, okay. Next one. This is my big creative project of the year. And it gets, I can only do so many, and then my head starts to hurt a little bit. I'm going to stop that right there. So I'm going to just go trim off this little piece on the camera. Okay, this is good. And last but not least, we have the starting with the heart and ending with the camera. Let's go this way. All right, because we still have the center, but I've got that all figured out for you. Now, you know, if you like some of these designs, by all means, crop lift. That's what we do. I just ask that anybody who does that just say, yeah, I wish that was my idea. It wasn't. But I give you total permission to crop lift and share and make it for yourself. Okay. All right. So here's our outer frame. Then what I decided, since it's February and we're not doing like red Valentines, I decided to use the custom cutting system. I used all 3 hearts. And I used them all, and I cut on the outside with the red blade so that I would have this variety of sizes. And we're going to put these in here. Let me just get them adhered right down, because I've already figured this out. Oh, I see a crooked camera over there. Okay, looks about the same on each side. Come on, little camera. Okay, then next comes the blue. These were some of the, again, the colors in the coordinating cardstock. I'm making that in the center. It's a cute little curvy heart. It's not a pointy heart. All right, and now I'll put this, the next one. And then I went to my stickers and embellishments. I think these were all stickers. And I decided I'm going to put these. I already put foam squares. Ooh, that was a big noise, sorry. I'm going to add, and you know, it doesn't have to have words. I just thought this was perfect for February, Valentine's Day. Our oldest son, Eric, his birthday is in February, so it's a special month for us too. His is actually the last day of February. He was born in a leap year, but just before, like 7:11 p.m. was his birth time. Just made it. Okay, so I decided to use, to hook these 3 hearts together, put a little bouquet, and voila, there we go. So there is my February quilt block. And then over here, I have to make my my banner, and then I will use either the confetti hearts. So we have these confetti hearts. I kept those. I might add those over here. They show up nicely, but you get the idea. Okay, so then you make your banner that goes with that as well for the name of the month. Okay, one more if you can stand it. Oh, also, all right, so here's my double page spread. And then I use this spread from Copper Canyon. And since Eric is is February 28th, I figure we'll be celebrating. And there's room if I need more pictures. And there was a really cute sticker. Oh, the stickers are over here. It's a really cute sticker on here I thought would be perfect. Oh, here it is. 100% lovable. So we can put that picture, I can put that sticker with his birthday pictures. Okay, so that's it for February. And now for March. If you can take it, I'll be happy to share it. Okay, so March, I have this blue for the banner. Here are my stickers. I'm going to get that out of the way for a second. I was thinking very Copper Canyon here. So I want to share what I did. Here's March. Okay, so for the quilt page, which is here, let's look at the quilt page. So for the quilt page, I used hot fudge as the base. And then I had this, I think it's like Follow the Trail punch. I thought it looked so nice with Copper Canyon. So I did that, and I used the first 2 rub-ons from the Copper Canyon, and I rubbed these on here. This was actually a mat that I cut in the circle. I used the smallest circle, the smallest circle with the blue blade, and it got all the leaves in here. We just made it. So I have that for the center here, but let's build it. Let's build it. And this medallion, what is it called? It is called Blooming Medallion, because it had, had this white here. That's why I decided to put that. But let's start by adding onto my, and this is what I do. I start with it. Oh yeah, I have these for the calendar banner. I just start putting things on. And now I'm going to have, I think I might put the middle in, just so you get a better idea of how I decided to do the outside frame pieces. So let's get this down. I know this is probably really freaking out people who measure everything. I apologize, but I don't worry about things like that. I guess I should, but I don't. Okay. This beautiful little medallion in the middle. And then this paper from Copper Canyon, just picked up on this, same design. So let me turn these over and we'll get some, I'm going to use repositionable on these. First of all, they're too thin to put the regular one and not have a tragedy. It's hopping around. Okay, so what I want to do here is I'm going to add this other border up here. Okay, so that's going to be here. So I should probably put one there to help me see. All right, so then about halfway between that, I'm going to add this, and I'm just truly going to overlap them. All right, put my first one. Put this down here. It's not where exactly it's going to be, but it'll get me in the right spot, hopefully. All right. I'm going to make sure I'm about the same distance there. That looks good to me. Well, you mathematicians out there are probably freaking, but you know, I don't worry about these things. Maybe you do, and I appreciate that. But this is how my brain works. Okay, so now I'm going to put this here. I like the little crissy-crossy thing going on. Okay. Put you over here, just so I get an idea. And then we're going to adhere this last one. Aren't you happy I didn't do all the punching with you too? If you fast forward in like crazy. Okay, so I have those. Now, let's get these on. So I'm going to have them, oh my gosh, look what I did. I used the wrong, the wrong tape runner. I've done that before. Okay, let's do this. Let's use the correct one, the repositionable tape runner. All right, we're going to start here. We're going to follow this trail. Off it goes and around. Now, I'm not sure, I can't remember, when I was planning this, I can't remember if I said I would just cut that off or if I'm going to overlap it. That's kind of interesting, isn't it, with that little design? I might, oh yeah, I think I kind of like that. Yeah, okay, I'm going to do that. All right, so let's get this on. And I literally just have it follow around the page. And I'm going to line it up here so that they make that little design. That's a good thing. Makes me happy. Get our next one. Once you've done your punching, now remember, if you've done these borders and things you think you're going to want, if you don't like them, don't use them. You can always, I'm going to show you how I store my borders and things, because when I'm doing my calendars, I just love having a whole stash of materials that I can grab and test it with. Okay. All right, let's go over here. Get this lined up. And there we go. Okay, so after I did this, I thought, you know, we got this white in here. I need to bring some white. So that's why I punched this medallion, this blooming medallion. And I'm going to add that. It's not white. I think it's, I don't remember what color it was. Maybe cream or, I don't know. It's a kind of an off-white, but I think it goes well enough. We don't want it too stark white. And I thought I would put them here, these corners. And there we go. And now my plan, I have to pull out another one of these because I just put the wrong tape runner on it. But my plan is to use these, two of these as well over here for March to tie the two pages together. And that's generally what I do. Whatever I do here, I try to tie in on this side. So that's March. There we go. And then here's my double page. And then I put this here. This is the Copper Canyon 2. So let me adhere this page down because I am going with it. And this is a regular page. This page that it's on now, the last one for the month, is not a top loading. I'm trying to use up my old, actually I'm using up my old calendar pages and just putting paper on them. Mess it up. That's like that beautiful new punch. Okay, so now, all right, now this is a cheater one because I did make this. Well, I made it with the help of my Cricut. I had to design the colors that I wanted and the layers that I wanted. So this is already finished for me. So now, but this is what I wanted to show you. So what I'll do now is excuse me, I'm going to kind of go with lavenders and, you know, the other colors that are in here, the lavenders and greens. So what I do is a lot of times I pre-punch and I put in these sort and stash binder thing, the light binder, these fill and file sleeves, and then you can punch ahead, and that way you can pull them out and try different designs on there. That has worked really well for me. So now what I'll do that, and then I'll also, you know, I have my scraps. This is my purple my purple power project file. Put that, and by the way, this one's kind of fat, so it won't work, but in my calendar, power project file, I put these right inside there, and that way I have them to choose from when I'm working on calendar pages. But that is basically it. I've already done my double page spread from the Noteworthy, and then I'll have 2 more pages to do before I go on to the next month. But that is basically how I do it. That's how my brain works. That's how I work with it, play with it. And you know, honestly, before you started tearing things down, oh, let me put that down. That's ready. Before you started tearing things down, just play with them. You know, look at the way the borders fit. Decide if you want to use a different kind of a border. If you don't use a border punch or a frame punch, you definitely can use chain punches. Okay, this is a chain punch. These are just strips of paper. So, you know, just think about it. Look at the colors you like. Look at the designs that you like. And that's what you should go with. And that's how you should do it. Make yourself happy, because if we're not happy, nobody's happy, right? And I hope that helped. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you don't have a headache. I know it's a lot to think about, but I wanted to take you through the process because that's just the way I do it. There may be a better, more efficient way that you like. Knock yourself out. That's great. Just the idea that you can create something on your own. Remember, there's no right or wrong way. You do what makes you happy. If you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comments below. And if you want to get the This Life product and so forth, I put the link there for that. If you have an advisor, shop with your advisor. If you don't have an advisor, I would love for you to shop with me. You can also visit my website, Linda's Scrapbooking Station, and I have some pre-made pages there that might fit right in with your calendars, and you'll already have your pages and your borders ready. So check it out. Until next time, happy scrapbooking.